All right, let's dive into something that might sound a little bit crazy at first. The idea that the car sitting in your driveway could be the single biggest thing standing between you and a seven-figure net worth. So, how is that even possible? I think this quote just sets the stage perfectly. I mean, think about it. We're all taught to want that new car smell, right? It's a symbol of success. But what if it's really the smell of a future you're quietly giving up? It's a pretty bold statement, but honestly, the numbers behind it are even crazier. So just how big of a problem are we talking about? Well, here you go. $1.6 trillion. That's how much Americans owe in car loans right now. And no, that is not a typo. It's a massive, colossal mountain of debt for stuff that's pretty much guaranteed to be worth less tomorrow than it is today. And all of this leads us straight into what our source material calls the new car debt trap. It's this system that is just incredibly easy to fall into, but man, it is so hard to get out of. And really, it's designed to keep you feeling stuck and financially fragile. And this, right here, is the reality of that trap. When you have a massive car payment every single month, you're basically walking a financial tightrope. There is zero room for error. One bad month, one unexpected bill, and that shiny thing in the driveway instantly turns into a source of pure panic. It's the definition of being financially fragile. You know, it's not just about the money. It's what this does to your brain. It forces you into what's called financial survival mode. When you're constantly stressed about that huge payment that's due in like 30 minutes, your brain literally can't even begin to think about long-term goals like saving or investing. You're just trapped in the here and now. Okay, but it's not just the payment, right? It goes so much deeper than that. We need to talk about the true and often hidden cost of trying to look successful. And believe me, none of this isn't an accident. The car industry has poured billions with a B, into marketing to convince all of us that what we drive is who we are. They want you focused on the status, the feeling, the monthly payment, anything but the total cost, and especially not the opportunity cost. I love this comparison because it just hits so hard. It really shows you the emotional difference. If you have a paid-off used car, a surprise $1,200 repair is annoying. It's frustrating, sure, but it's just another Tuesday. But when you're already stretched to the limit by a huge loan, that same repair feels like a genuine biological threat. Your body floods with stress hormones because you just don't have that financial breathing room. So when you put it all together, you start to see the real damage. It's the constant stress from those cortisol spikes. It's this leaky bucket effect on your wealth, where your hard-earned money is just constantly dripping away. And maybe worst of all, every single one of those payments is like a little seed of wealth that you're just throwing away, preventing it from ever growing into a financial tree. Okay, enough doom and gloom, right? Let's flip this around. Let's talk about the solution. Because this is where the logic completely changes, and we get to see how a simple choice about how you get around can become an incredibly powerful tool for building wealth. So let's look at a simple choice between two people. We'll call them Sarah and Mike. Sarah goes out and buys a brand new $50,000 SUV. Her payment is $900 a month for 7 years. Mike, on the other hand, buys a reliable 5-year-old sedan for $15,000, which he pays for in cash, so he has no car payment. Instead, he decides to invest that same $900 every single month. Okay, now fast forward 7 years and just look at this. It's insane. Sarah is finally done with her payments and she's left with an SUV that's now worth maybe $18,000. Mike, on the other hand, by simply investing what would have been his car payment, now has about $100,000 in his investment account. The difference is already huge. But hold on, because this is where the real magic happens. It's called compound growth. Let's say Mike doesn't add another penny. He just lets that 100 grand sit there and grow for the next 25 years. With a pretty average return, it turns into over $500,000. That, right there, is the used car multiplier in action. One simple decision, years ago, created life-changing wealth down the road. Okay, let's pause for a second. Forget the math and all the numbers. Just honestly ask yourself this question. If you woke up tomorrow and your car payment was just gone, forever, how would your stress level change? How would you feel? That feeling of relief, of freedom, of possibility, that's what we're actually talking about here. That's the real prize. So what if you absolutely have to finance a car? I get it, not everyone can buy with cash. Is there a smart way to do it without totally wrecking your financial future? Absolutely. And our source gives us a really simple, powerful guideline called the 24-10 Wealth Rule. And it's super simple to remember, just 3 little rules. First, you need to put at least 20% down. You have to have some skin in the game. Second, the loan has to be for 4 years or less, 48 months max, no 7-year loans. And third, all your car costs, the payment, the insurance, gas, everything, has to be less than 10% of your monthly take-home pay. Now, why does this simple rule work so well? Well, because it's not just a budget, it's a psychological filter. It forces you to buy a car based on what you can actually afford, not what a car salesman or a bank tells you that you can afford. It's like a logical wall you build to protect yourself from getting caught in that emotional upgrade trap. When you really get down to it, it's all about this one choice. What's your priority? Is it appearance or is it agency? Appearance is about driving a status symbol, looking successful to other people. Agency is about being successful by having actual control over your money, your time, and your future. And that really brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. Choosing to drive something a little more modest, a little more boring today isn't a sacrifice. It's a strategy. It's a short-term trade-off that pays you back over and over again, giving you the freedom and the money to build a life that is truly your own. So the real question is, what kind of future are you driving towards?